So how do you become a good cloud engineer, a good cloud architect? Firstly, you need to understand what the business is selling, what products, what services that this business is trying to sell. Because really you need to get into the mindset that you're trying to run this business yourself, and you need to know what types of things, what type of infrastructure, what would you need if you were running this, what would you need to support this business? And one of the best ways to learn the business is by asking questions. There's a quote by Tony Robbins that says, "The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions." Asking questions, critical thinking, being able to put the puzzle together in your head is one of the best ways for you to understand something new. So learning the business, learning what they sell, why they do what they do, the reasoning behind it, understanding the culture of the business will take you a long way in becoming a really good cloud engineer or cloud architect, because you have more of a flavor for what's really trying to be done at a large scale, and it makes you more in tune with what you need to do to deliver the best that you can for the business, because you understand how the business works. Ask the dumb questions. Ask, especially when you first begin, you got like if you start a new job, you got at least 6 months to ask very dumb questions. You read the documentation that they have about the business. I would set up a Google alert about the business so you know what's happening outside of your purview. Maybe deals that the business is making, they acquired somebody or they sold something. These are things that you need to be aware of, and it builds this knowledge base in your head about how you can work more effectively and have a greater impact on the business and their bottom line by what you do. So that's number one, learn the business. The next thing would be to get some hands-on experience. As a cloud engineer or a cloud architect, things are constantly changing in the cloud environment. I swear that Microsoft changes the names of their cloud services every 6 months, seems like. So you have to really stay on top of what's being offered and what they're changing in their service. I would recommend, at least at minimum, you would have a lab. You would have a lab at home, meaning if you're being a cloud engineer or cloud architect, that means you have your own AWS, Azure, GCP subscription where you can go in there, being careful, first of all, so that you don't get overcharged and setting your budgets right. But having that sandbox to play in and actually try to create the things that maybe some of the developers are on a very small scale. Just doing, making a web app or something like that. Try to emulate what they're doing so you know the snags that they're facing when you're in there trying to create something, or if you're doing cloud security or any type of cloud engineering or cloud architecture, you'll know what path to go on, what steps to take, and this will make you more valuable when it comes time to talk about discussions around cloud security, cloud engineering, and cloud architecture. So you want to invest in yourself. Invest some of that money that you make by doing the job back into yourself and use that for your continuous learning, the hands-on experience. Go ahead and pay for something. Don't spend all your money, of course, but spend a little bit to enable you to reach your goals. So you can use sites like Cloud Guru. There's other things that your employer might offer through their own learning portals that you can get for free. And back to the learning the business part, a lot of times there's videos about different business platforms, different business functions that you can learn about by watching videos, as you work or whatever, and listen to those. A lot of insights you can grab there, but keep it focused. Like I would say, keep like a spreadsheet or a notepad or something so that what you're doing is pointed towards a goal that you have. So say for instance, if you want to learn about XYZ product in a business, then you could watch videos, create a learning program around that. Stay focused, because there's too much information out there right now, and the people who focus on a certain goal, focus on what they want to learn, focus on their achievement, and not get distracted by the abundance of things out there to learn. Those are the ones that will rise to the top, because focus is key nowadays with there being so much abundance of learning materials, things to look at, things to watch. Okay, so the third step in becoming a good cloud engineer or a good cloud architect is teamwork. Don't feel bad about getting other people involved in your projects. There's a quote that says, "Individually, we are one drop. Together, we are an ocean." So you can do so much more by bringing other people in, having collaboration, having teamwork to reach your goals, and you will reach it much faster if you utilize proper communication and teamwork. I know there's a lot of people that don't like to ask for help or maybe don't want to work with other people, but when you find somebody who's passionate about their work and you have a project and something in that project that you're doing that they know how to do better that's their lane. When you give them this type of task, then it makes them better at what they do, and they see more progress in their field or their concentration, and it makes them better. So you do a project, you bring somebody in, and once you're done with the project and it's successful, then you give them kudos about it. I mean, you publicly acknowledge that their contribution helped to facilitate the success of the project or the goal that you were trying to achieve. And this will make them feel great about helping you, and it also will help you reach your goals. Now, of course, a lot of people don't have time to help you, but that's just what it's going to be. It doesn't hurt to ask. And when you come to somebody about collaboration, make sure that you go over what you're trying to ask them. A lot of people get offended because it wasn't presented properly, or I didn't like the way that this came across. Make sure that you have all of your project steps, everything really laid out. So when you give it to them, they can quickly absorb, understand what you're trying to do. That will make them quickly be able to assess whether or not they can help you or not. And you will definitely find people inside of a company that will be glad to help you, and then there will be other people who don't want to have anything to do with you. And that's okay. That's just part of the peaks and the valleys. Just keep it moving. Do your best. You will achieve your goals. Just keep on moving. Don't worry about you don't really have to get emotionally involved. It's just part of the game that you're playing. And when you're asking for collaboration on something, it's just part of the game. If they don't want to help, fine. If they do want to help, great. But keep your communication channels open, so that when something comes your way and you can contribute and help somebody else, then it goes both ways. So that will create more connections that you have. And then eventually you have more resources that you can lean upon, and people can lean upon you. So it's like a symbiotic relationship where, okay, I need this done. I know who to ask. Or if somebody's thinking about you, they can ask you and get the same results. And just don't forget that you always want to acknowledge publicly people's contributions, especially if you're not their manager or they just helped you do something. Make sure you acknowledge them. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but it's better to have done it and just have it on the books versus I helped this person out, they didn't even say anything. So in summary, 3 steps to become a good cloud engineer, good cloud architect. Learn the business. Do this by asking questions, reading company documentation. Number 2, hands-on experience. Get yourself a home lab, get yourself involved in some cloud services, try some things out. Never stop learning. Create a learning program. Stay focused on what you're trying to learn and make sure that that lines up with your goals that you're trying to achieve. And number 3, communication and collaboration with other people at the company. Make sure you present what you're asking for in a understandable manner. Find ways that you can use the talents of other people to achieve your goals, and let other people use your talents to achieve their goals. And lastly, make sure that you acknowledge their contributions publicly, either by using some type of recognition system within the company or just saying thanks on an email thread that has other people on it, maybe they're managers, and then just wash, rinse, repeat. Keep learning the business, keep communicating, keep getting your hands-on experience. One of the most important things is to stay focused on what your goals are. Line up your goals. You don't need to have a million of them. You create a handful of goals, one goal, maybe 3 or 4, stay focused on that, achieve those goals, and then keep moving forward. This will help you to grow into not only a good cloud engineer, architect, but a great one. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you're in the market for any cybersecurity or information security, IT related content, please like, subscribe, follow whatever platform you're on to the Cyber Skill Pro channel.